Today's episode is a journey into the link between menopause and divorce. We'll talk about the challenges and emotions that often accompany this phase of life, shedding light on a topic that affects so many. We will also shift gears to discuss the more intimate aspects of life after menopause. How do you improve your sex life, rekindle passion, and connect in the midst of change? Whether you're facing the realities of menopause and divorce or simply curious about the intricacies of this journey, join us as we have an open and honest discussion about the things that nobody wants to talk about. Grab your coffee. It's going to be a good one. Welcome back, everybody.
Felt like we were just here yesterday.
Well, we were just
I know. I'm like, man, we blinked and we're right back in the pod.
I know, you guys. We just did our YouTube live last night, and here we are getting another episode in for you guys. Welcome back. Another episode of Candidly with Coffee.
Yep, we're back.
We are back in the pod. Studio B is alive and kicking.
So what's on the agenda today?
You just heard what's on the agenda.
You got an interesting topic I hear.
Yeah. Are you interested in that topic?
Sure.
I started to think about, because obviously I've been talking so much about menopause and my experience with HRT that I just started to think about, I bet you there has to be a link between divorce and menopause because of all of the things that happen. But we're going to get into that in a bit. But before we get into that, let's just do a little bit of housekeeping. If you're not already following us on Candidly_with Coffee, please follow us on our Instagram, rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, subscribe to our YouTube, all the things, you guys. We really appreciate it. We appreciate the support so much because the show is doing really well and we're just really excited about it. And we can't wait to bring more content your guys' way.
But stay busy.
Yeah, keep us busy. Keep us busy.
We'll see you in the comments too.
Yeah, we have so much fun interacting with you guys in the comments. But so yesterday, before we get into that, actually yesterday, I produced my first show here in Studio B. So this is a podcast studio, not just for our podcast, but it's also the home of Mauricio Mejia Live, which I'm the executive producer on. Before we started doing this episode, I called him the Latino Tony Robbins because he's so inspiring, though. He's very inspiring. His show is really good and I'm excited about it. So I will definitely give you guys more information on that. But it was my very first podcast that I've ever produced and we're learning as we go, but it was pretty exciting and we really enjoyed it.
We're over here working, staying busy.
Yeah. And then you guys, for those of you who joined us, thank you, by the way, for those of you who joined us in our YouTube live, we had so much fun.
Yeah.
Wasn't it fun?
A lot of questions. It was cool.
So many questions. We went an hour and a half.
Yeah, longer than our podcast.
Yeah, we went an hour and a half and there we are, you guys. We could not post the show. I'm so sad. The sound did not dub, so we couldn't post the show. But here we are. This is what our scene is like. It's Candidly with Coffee after dark. And we had so much fun.
Technical difficulties from the beginning.
Yeah, we did have some technical difficulties, but we're ironing out those with a new studio. We have a lot of new technology, a lot of cords and cables and things. And I was able to troubleshoot some of the issues, but we were under the gun. And so I forgot to flick the little sound thing when I switched the camera over. And I apologize for those of you who were planning to catch the replay. We did have so much fun with it too.
You know what they say, there's always another one.
Yeah, we're going to come back. So January 26th is going to be our next one. And guess what? It's right smack dab in between your birthday and my birthday.
Oh, yeah, it is. On the middle.
Yours is the 24th. Mine's the 28th. So it'll be a little birthday celebration with you guys. And it'll be at the same time, 5 p.m. Pacific time.
Yep.
And hopefully we will not have technical difficulties because that wears on me, wears on my brain.
It does. It sucks.
I hate that.
Things don't go smooth. You're trying to make something happen. It's just roadblocks after roadblocks.
So frustrating. But hey, we got on and we were there for an hour and a half and we had a good time.
Yes, we did.
I love the lives. I love it. It's very casual. We don't plan anything. We just answer your questions and we try to get to all your questions, you guys. I know some of you were like, hey, I asked a question. You didn't get to it. There's so many questions coming at the same time.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming.
It's crazy. And it's only going to get crazier.
I know.
As we go on.
But I love it. Like, I really like doing that episode. So we are on a good schedule. We're going to do the every other Friday, and it's our date night.
That was our date night. That is correct.
Yeah, we went to Luna after and had dinner. We had to wait for like 45 minutes to eat.
Yeah. It was cold last night, too.
What time did we eat? It was like after 8.
Yeah.
What time did we go to sleep?
Probably close to 10.
And I was up at 3:30.
Damn.
No wonder I have dark circles. I have dark
I feel a little
circles
tired,
today.
too. Broken of sleep.
Yeah, I just feel a little not. I had a very busy week. It's been crazy.
Here we are, though. We're here.
Yes, here we are because I love this, though. This is my favorite recording.
We showed up, as
Recording
always.
the pod. And guess what? We have plans after this, too, you guys. We're going to San Francisco.
Yeah, we're about to go on a trek right now to the city.
Yeah, for La Taqueria.
Just to go eat some Mexican tacos. They're wonderful, though.
They're so good. I'm going to have the Dorado tacos. I know. I feel like we're so like oxymoron because we're a nutrition, fitness coaches, but we're always talking about food.
I know. Well, you need food to fuel the body. As long as you put in the right food, you'll be all right. You know?
Yeah, tacos is the right food for me today.
Yes, it is. For me, too.
Oh, my goodness. All right. So moving on to the hot coffee topic. Look at this chick. You know who this is? Lauren Sanchez. For those of you who are listening, I have a picture of Lauren Sanchez on the screen. This is Jeff Bezos' woman.
Oh, I was going to say, I recognize the name. She gave herself a totally different look to
Look at
her
her,
hair.
54 years old.
Wow.
She looks amazing. I'm just so proud of women in their 50s and 60s not throwing in the towel.
No, they're embracing their
So
sexiness.
I want to
like bringing
celebrate
back.
it.
Yeah,
This
for sure.
was her trying to she posted a sexy picture for her man, Jeff, who it was his birthday. He's 60. And I thought, wow, like she looks really good.
Yeah, she does.
She looks really good. She's wearing like a Dolce Gabbana lace see-through thing with black underwear and black bra underneath for those who are listening. And yeah, she's bringing sexy back at 54 years old.
Isn't it crazy? Women are like not tapping out. Like,
Yeah, and someone made a comment yesterday on the live. We were talking about like the face of menopause is like this silver-haired Golden Girls lady.
Yes.
And she had mentioned that the Golden Girls were in their
50s.
So 30 years ago, women in their 50s were portrayed like the Golden Girls.
Yes.
And now we've got people
Look
like
at
Lisa Rinna, who we
Yes.
talked about last week, and Lauren Sanchez. Pretty,
Game has changed, man.
yeah.
It's all appeared to no one's tapping out.
I'm willing to bet that she's probably on HRT.
Oh, for sure.
This is
100%.
the face. This
Yeah.
is the face of HRT.
HRT. She's probably doing stem cells, everything you can.
Yeah.
I don't think plastic surgery, though. It doesn't look like it.
Oh, I'm sure she's had some work.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure she's had some work, but it's not bad work. I would have it too. I would have some work.
Why not? If it's going to keep you youthful, right? And makes you happy.
Yeah. Do it. We only have one life.
I know. People don't realize that. One life.
They
What-
think that's it. One life.
what- and then what are you supposed to do? Dummy it down because it makes other people feel uncomfortable?
I don't understand.
No, you do what makes you feel happy and do what's best for you.
Yeah.
People always are concerned with what you're going to do with your body or your
Whenever
life or your
you're
face.
trying to figure out, should I do this? Should I do that? Please stop and remember, we have one
One time.
time. Right
it.
now, you're only going to be this age for the next 24 hours. And then that's it. I'm only
Yep.
going to be, this day is only going to happen one time. And then
Yes.
tomorrow, one time. And then every day, it gets closer to the end.
That's true.
This is not permanent.
No. So I think people are living in now, humans.
I
They think
do.
like we're not going to go to the grave one day.
And so you got to make one day of unhappiness, choosing to be unhappy is too much.
Yeah.
You know?
You're right. Try to make every day a happy day. I know it's hard sometimes. Some
Yeah,
people
it
going
is,
through
but-
things, but you got to. I put a post on my Instagram saying I was driving somewhere. I saw the sunrise. I go, man, I have to stop and give gratitude.
Yeah.
I'm alive. I'm breathing. I get to see the sunrise. Some people ain't going to get to see that.
It is important to practice gratitude for sure.
Yeah.
We lose sight of that. Sometimes you
We
get
do.
caught up in the stress of everything. I was sitting in here before you got here, and I was sitting in here and I'm like, wow, I'm grateful to be sitting in here right now. Like, this is pretty freaking cool.
This was just a thought a few months ago.
I know. It's just crazy.
And now
And so
here
you
we
know,
are.
And here they are, Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez. And you know what? This is obviously this is their second marriage. They were both married before. They really, to me, seem like they have a really good connection.
So these two are married?
Yeah, aren't they married? Oh, maybe they didn't get married, but they're together.
Yeah.
Maybe they're engaged.
Maybe, yeah.
But they
I see her
were,
with a ring on her finger.
but they were famously had an affair, and so this is
Yeah.
obviously, I think it was a long-term affair too.
These two?
Yeah,
Damn.
they were. Yeah,
How'd they link up? Who was she?
her manager introduced them or something like that, and then they had an affair. I don't know the details really,
Wow.
but
She got with the third. She got with the second or third richest dude on earth right here.
She's doing something right
Yeah.
because he seems happy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And let me talk about, I know we always talk about women and women like the face of menopause and all of that. But he had a glow up too. Jeff Bezos used to, if you guys don't know what he used to look like, he was a book nerd, okay? A total nerd. And now he looks like he's fit and, I don't know, stylish and just has a different glow.
For sure. He jumped on TRT probably.
Definitely. This is the face. He actually looks like Dana White.
That's okay. What is he, 60 years
60.
old? Look at that. He's not busted can of beans.
No.
Dude's 20, this guy's 20, 30 years younger than them that are busted. You know what I'm saying? Look at him. He's 60.
Because you don't have to throw in the towel.
No, you don't.
And
People
you
just
can
give up.
glow up. You can glow. If Jeff Bezos, the nerd of the nerds, okay, can look like
book
this,
nerd.
like a kind of a hunky dude now, then everyone has the ability to level themselves up. And like I said, you have one life to live.
One life. And people are just throwing it away, just pissing it
Yeah.
away. They're like, society's like in a race to the grave. Like who can get to the grave the fastest? That's what I see out there.
Yeah.
Like people are just frumpy looking, down, depressed. They don't look happy with themselves.
Don't you
Their body
wanna-
language looks terrible. You know what I'm saying? We
Yes.
see it. We're out there. We see it.
Yeah.
You can read it. Yeah, like the energy's low, your frequency's low, like everything is low about you.
Yeah.
But they choose not to do anything about it. I always say, me and you don't have no special genetics or gifts, nothing. We just have a mindset that we're not going to tap out because we have one life.
And we're happier because of it.
Exactly. We're not at each other's throats. We're not angry. Our frequency ain't low. That's
Yeah.
another thing. That's why a lot of couples fight because their frequencies are off.
Their frequencies
They
are
don't feel
off
good
and
about
low.
themselves. They're taking down their mate and vice versa.
Yeah. No, for sure. And I always just stop to think about, we have one life to live. That's why when I'm helping my clients and like trying to get them on this path, this healthy lifestyle, it's because I truly want them to feel what it's like to be the best version of yourself, to know that you've put in the work
Yep.
to show up as the best version of yourself and kept promises to yourself. Because it is an
Yes.
amazing feeling, an accomplishment, and a lot of people leave this earth and never feel it.
Never at all. Don't know what that feeling is like. They just cruised on by to the...
And they didn't get it.
Nope. And I always say, don't wait till you're on that deathbed.
Yeah.
That deathbed is a mother. You might not make it home from that deathbed.
I know. My mom, when she was in the hospital and she was just had regrets, like I should have get better care of myself. I should have been on top of things.
See.
Like it's too late now, and I'm sad about it. And that is heart wrenching.
Yeah, I bet.
Heart wrenching, because she didn't want to go. You know what I mean? She wasn't like, oh, I'm ready to go. No, she was just like, I'm going to miss you guys so much. And it was heart wrenching.
Unlike mama's like, all right, you guys, I love you, but I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
Remember?
I've never experienced anything
see
like
that?
that in my life. The strength your mother had in the end, like she was just like, yeah, I'm checking out.
Yeah, she was ready.
I'm good.
She really was. She had a hard life. She went through some things, and I found some things out about her, and I understand why.
Yeah.
She had a lot of mental struggles, man. Poor lady.
Besides her childhood, even her adult life, like raising 6 kids, poor.
Yes.
It's crazy. And that's a perfect example. Like your mom never got to walk this earth feeling like having that feeling, that high frequency,
Yes.
living my best life
No.
feeling.
You're right.
It's sad. It's so sad to think about it. All right, moving on to Comment Corner. All right, this one comes to us from Cheryl Crawford, and she says, love the new podcast setup with you guys facing each other. Keep rocking it. Thank you.
Oh, Cheryl, thank you. Thank you very much for
It's
that.
definitely a different dynamic, but I like it.
Yeah, we're not crunched together no more.
No, I have space.
Exactly. The 3-foot rule, at least.
This is my dance space. That's your dance space.
Yes.
That's from a movie. Do you know what movie?
No.
Dirty Dancing.
Oh, no.
Dirty Dancing.
You've probably watched that a gazillion times.
We
that's
can
why.
still face you guys and see you guys too. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We are here with you.
Yes, we are.
All right. The next comment is from Heather Lee. This was a great episode. She's talking about episode 480 about emotional intelligence. I watch every episode and I crack up every time over Mike saying beans. The expression is actually a busted can of biscuits, like when you pop open the biscuit can and they squish out of the side. However, I have to say that I always think beans now when the expression comes to mind. Thanks for making my early morning cardio more interesting.
I really have no idea where I heard that from.
Yeah, because it's not busted can of beans. She's right. And I laughed when I saw this comment, I laughed so hard because I was like, she's right. It's not busted can of beans. In fact, I even Googled busted can of beans expression. There is no such expression. You literally got it wrong. It's busted can of biscuits. See?
That one's busting out of the can too. You're right. I like busted can of beans.
Wait, for those listening, we have it's the biscuits that those, what are they? What's the Pillsbury biscuits
Yes.
that you twist and then they pop open?
Yeah.
I think that's the expression that you're going for, the busted can of biscuits.
Busted can of
but
biscuits.
now let's just say busted can of beans.
Just say
Let's just go with the
Yeah, why
busted can
not?
of beans because why not?
Yeah.
Busted can of beans, yeah. Anyways, thanks, Heather, for pointing that out because I thought that was pretty funny when I saw it.
that is funny.
All right, let's chat. Let's just talk about research. You know that your breathing is loud. You know that? Why do you do the into the?
I don't know. Just breathing. You breathe too before you talk. I hear you take little breaths.
No, you take big, huge breaths. It drives me crazy.
Gotta breathe.
Anyways, I started thinking. We talk so much about all of the things that women go through in menopause, right? So some of the things, mood swings, low libido, vaginal dryness, incontinence, poor sleep, weight gain, right?
Yep.
That does not sound like someone that you'd want to spend your time with. That sounds like a miserable person,
It does.
right?
Yes.
So
Very
it
miserable.
started to make me think, man, I wonder if there's a correlation with people getting divorced and menopause. Like women go into menopause
Yeah.
and they're already been together for a long time, usually with their husband, whatever, by then. And then they become a miserable old hag. Sorry,
Damn.
I'm just like
Yeah.
generalizing.
Of course.
And then it causes problems in the marriage.
Did you look it up?
I did look it up. There is research that was released back in 2022 that shows a clear link between menopause and divorce. The alarming research states that 7 in 10 women, so 73% of women that have gone through a divorce blamed menopause for a breakdown in their marriage. 67% of women claim that menopause increased domestic abuse and arguments as well.
Wow. That's high.
Only 3 in 10 women that were surveyed had been offered HRT as an option to deal with their symptoms.
Yeah. That's too bad.
There is a huge gap in women's health care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the mentality is, well, for one, most doctors,
Yeah, doctors, forget about it.
most doctors have never been through menopause. Right? It's
True.
either a man or a woman that hasn't entered her menopause years yet.
So they don't understand.
Maybe if you find a doctor that has been through menopause, you might have some more help.
Yes.
But most doctors don't. They're just reading about it in a text. Oh, what's the big deal? Hot flashes, poor sleep, a little vaginal dryness. It's menopause. And they just put a label on it and then go away. It's just menopause.
Yeah, do you understand, doctor? This is causing friction in my marriage. Do you understand that part, or do you not understand that part? Like, they don't understand that part.
Yeah, they don't.
They're very like robotic, and I learned this in the textbook of my medical studies. Like, that's why you can't go through them. You really can't for HRT. You just
No.
can't. Dana White even says, expose them and said, man, don't waste your time with them. They're not going to help you. Same thing. I went to my doctor and told her about my libido and low TRT, and it's like they brush it to the side.
Because she looked at you and thought, you look fine.
That's what it is.
Right?
Yep.
I got totally brushed to the side.
They don't know how we feel internally, though. Like, they make assumptions, which is ignorant on their part.
I think that thinking you're not dying. So we're just a doctor trying to keep you from dying, keep you from getting some disease.
That's not how I want to live, though.
It's about quality of life.
I like what Joe Rogan says. Why not be optimized while we're still here? Why not be optimized? We're doing all the work, busting our ass in the gym, eating. It was a missing link there.
Yes, absolutely.
Both of us, it was a missing link.
It was. So menopause, right? It's
Yes.
both.
Yep.
And that's a whole other topic. Men just get completely brushed over.
Yes.
They don't even have an official clinical name for men.
No.
And you truly go through something.
Yep.
And that impacts marriages and relationships.
And mental health. Why do you think a lot of men are, they don't know how to deal with those emotions? Estrogen goes up, testosterone goes down. Now they don't feel like being here anymore. They're not themselves. They don't feel like a man. You want to feel like a man. Men want to feel like men. We don't feel like something else other than a man. That's just what we're designed to feel like.
You're not optimized at that age. And you don't, life's not over in your
Oh, sorry, guys. We got a freaking emergency. God.
What the heck? It won't stop?
No, it won't. It goes through all our phones. A lot of people right now who are in prison, they got the burner phones in there, are going to get busted.
Oh, my God. Everyone is going to get busted right now.
Yeah.
All the burner phones are going to get exposed.
Yes. Even the cheaters are going to get exposed. The husbands and wives, hey, what's that other phone going off right here you got hidden?
Oh.
I wonder if people get busted. I never thought about that.
People do.
Probably.
Do you think they have like cheater phones? Like,
Yes.
Like throwaways?
I think so.
To cheat?
Probably.
It's really hard.
People are sneaky.
It's really hard to cheat nowadays, I would think.
It is. But people will go to great lengths to cover their tracks.
You know what? We're getting off topic. We'll get back onto it. But have you ever heard of somebody? They'll go and see if their husband's phone connects to Wi-Fi or something like that, like at different houses, like to bust them out.
I've heard something like that.
If it connects to the Wi-Fi.
I've heard something like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy ways to bust you now.
There's so many.
If you even have to do all that, it's over.
Why? It's over.
Come on.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, but 86% of women weren't comfortable discussing menopause with their doctors.
Why?
Because I get that, because they just dismiss it, and it's just a little awkward to talk about.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is they don't lead you. The doctors don't lead you. They should be so informed, especially a gynecologist, right? Like when I went for my gynecology appointment, my gynecologist should be so informed on the topic.
Yep, they should.
But they should lead me into, are you maybe feeling this or that? Like really delve a little deeper. And because there were so many things that I was feeling that I didn't even realize were menopause related. And shouldn't the doctor be the one leading me and not me with my Google research information leading the doctor? Because I feel that's what it is most of the time for women. And nobody even cares or to think about, wow, okay, you're experiencing all those things, and how does that affect your relationship?
No, they don't think about that. Like I said, they're very robotic.
Yeah, it's just very...
I'm just here to make sure you're alive and well. That's not how I want to live my life. Alive and well is not good enough. All these people are walking around, they're alive and so-called well. Look miserable. I don't want to live like them.
Yeah, like you say, you always say, shoulder slump forward, stomach leading the dance.
Yes. That's the majority, like 80, 90% of men out there in society right now I'm seeing. It's horrible. It's bad. Even those commercials I see on TV, it's embarrassing. I told you one I seen the other day of Dupixent or whatever it was.
Dupixent.
The dude they showed was like, what? This is how you portray us?
Yeah.
Like that guy? I don't want to look like that guy. Put a guy like me up there.
Like all the menopause commercials is like women with like short silver hair and like wearing like, I don't know, like old lady clothes. And I'm like,
even like those commercials for people getting their medications where they'll put a chick, no offense, women, but they put like a woman that looks like a linebacker on there. What the F? The chick looks like she's 300 pounds. That's what they're portraying.
Yeah.
So what are you trying to do to us? That's not how you want us to look? You want us sick?
What about the diabetes commercial? Do you remember that? There's a diabetes commercial and everybody's dancing. They're so happy about this new diabetes medication. And I would say 80% of the cast, and there was probably like 50 women or 50 people in the commercial, were overweight and happy and dancing, and they were overweight. To me, it's like sending the message like that this is, we should celebrate it.
Have diabetes, and I'm overweight.
What were we watching where, was it Society of the Snow where they were smoking, or a movie? We were watching a movie where they were smoking a lot. and you're like, wow, look at them just smoking. Oh yeah, it was Society of the Snow. They were smoking on the airplane.
On the airplane.
Yeah, like
I think they allowed that back then.
Yeah, like
in
back
the 60s
then.
and 70s or whatever.
Yeah. Like back
I mean,
then,
in the
that
restaurants,
was,
they allowed that too. I remember smoking.
and so it was cool, right? And so is that what these commercials? I understand all the body positivity movement, all of that.
Okay.
That is not. No, I don't
Lost
think
my
that,
mother, you guys, at 65 to diabetes. It's fucking cool to have diabetes, okay? Nothing cool about it or being overweight. Sorry, but that's my piece with it. No.
And type 2 diabetes, large in part, is to a weight problem or obesity problem. A lot of times it is diet caused by diet and nutrition.
Yep.
So it can be, when you see the commercial, it's like, it's kind of, what message are they trying to send?
I know what they're trying to send. They want us all overweight and sick because
they want you overweight and then taking medication to survive instead of doing the lifestyle modifications to get off the medication.
Exactly. Check this out, babe. I got a friend, right? You know who he is.
Yeah.
He's a fool. He's a gambler. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. I know who you're talking about.
And he always says he's cool off women in our age group. He's in our age group. He said, nah, I'm cool. He says, why? He goes, I don't want to offend any woman, but he goes, these old bitches be too dried up for me. So he says he prefers late 20s or in the 30s. 30s mainly.
Okay.
Age group. That's what he said.
Here's where the problem lies, though. We're gonna get into this. That's
how he talk. A lot of guys talk shit. That's how his mouth is.
This is we got to talk the way
yeah.
it is.
I'm just saying what he says. Because I'm perfectly happy with my wife.
Okay, but here's the thing. When it comes to the age difference and menopause type thing, don't you think problems come into play if he's with a young woman and he hasn't entered menopause yet, this young woman is going to expect the libido of a younger man. But what happens when he has some issues there? Don't you think could be problems? And that's where,
of course,
age discrepancies can cause issues down the road because of that?
100% it can.
In terms of like sexual compatibility?
Yeah, 100%.
So he likes women in the 20s and 30s?
Yeah. That's what he says.
Because what a bastard.
He said older women are too dried up for him.
You know what's honestly, that is one of the things that that's said about older women that bothers me. The whole dried up thing. That it just, I don't know why.
Before too?
Oh yes, of course I've heard that. Of course I've heard it. That's just, I don't know. But these are the kind of things that become an issue. Is the age. Like, it's all fine and dandy right now, but he's going to be an old fart and not able to get it up, and she's going to be still young and ready to get it on. Isn't that going to be a problem?
And I've also heard vice versa. I've also heard women in our age group that have a popping ass libido, that are horn dogs, and their man can't keep up with them, so they go for younger dudes that can keep up with them. I've heard that too. Some women's libido is just popping in their 40s.
Yeah, what is it about like older women sometimes that feel like they have like their libido goes off the chart?
Yeah, like what the hell happened? You got grannies these days that their libido's popping. Like, what's up with these older women?
You always say she's ready.
Yes.
Like, you could see they're very flirty.
I see it on your Housewives show. That's why I'm like, look at these older women in their 50s. Like, they're ready to go. You can see it. As a man, I can see it. They're thirsting over these younger men.
Yeah, Real Housewives of New York. Actually, it's the Ultimate Girls Trip, the Roni Legacy.
Talk about it.
They just are like, they want to get it in.
Because these guys are fit and shape. Remember, they're like younger dudes.
Yeah.
These dudes look like they're in their 20s or 30s maybe.
Yeah.
And they're like just all over them. Like, I'm going to tell you something. Guys in their 20s and 30s, most of them do not want women that much older. No. They'll go for like something in their 40s just to say.
Someone might have a fetish or a thing.
Some might just to do it, brag to their friends about it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm hooking up with this cougar type deal. Yeah.
The old chick.
Yes.
I'm hooking up with this old chick.
Yes. She's paying me. She's giving me money. They also do that too for money. These older women to pay them or give them money or buy them things. 100%. I know a few dudes that did that.
Yeah. I don't know. But I guess we should move on to the sexual compatibility and that whole topic since we got onto it. I'm back on to Lisa Rinna. We talked about her in the last episode, and she's 60 and looks amazing.
That's mind-blowing. She's killing it.
She's on the cover of Cosmopolitan, but I actually read the article, and she actually discusses what her sex life is like with her husband. She says, I do think that desire levels change for a man. the actress, says, sex after 60, it's just the natural evolution of life. So it's figuring out how to coexist without taking that personally as a woman. I think that it's almost more about companionship and about creating space for the ebb and flow of sexuality. However, the 60-year-old assured readers she and Hamlin are very attracted to each other. We really have great sex together, and we always have. It's just that maybe it doesn't happen quite as often as it did when you're in your 30s and your 20s, I would say, and I think that's normal.
That's normal.
So I don't know, she was just talking about how, but no, I actually noticed in her choice of words that she mentioned that the frequency issue was on his part. I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure.
No, it's good. It's good. It's very important that people listen to this, because as a couple, there has to be certain frequencies. There has to be certain, 100% you should be intimate so many times a month, I believe so.
Yeah.
To keep that closeness, that bond.
Yeah,
you know?
and I think that
a lot of people don't talk about this. It's uncomfortable. Even couples who are married are like afraid to talk about this kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, and I think especially when you're entering into menopause or those older years and things are shifting, that's a really important time to have good communication.
Yes.
Because like she said, yeah, like frequency has changed, but it's not because we talk about it. His just libido is impacted because of his age. He's older than her.
Is he?
Yeah, he's quite a bit older than her, I think.
Hopped on HRT, homie.
But it's important to know, because she was saying like, I'm okay with it because I understand why.
Yes.
That's where it's important to have like communication.
Yes.
Because if you're not communicating, if you say you struggle with low libido during your hormonal issues, if you hadn't communicated that to me and we were not openly discussing it, then it might have been a problem.
Yes. You might start thinking one or two things. Either he's not into me, doesn't desire me no more, or he's got something else on the side. I know how women's minds be thinking.
Yeah, so it's
it
important.
Goes in two directions.
But a lot of couples don't have that open line of communication.
I wonder why that is. They're so afraid to talk about like sex and intimacy and what one enjoys in the other. It's like taboo, but it shouldn't be.
Isn't that the whole benefit of having a spouse? Because you can be like super comfortable about it all.
You're supposed to. Pretty much, yeah. But some people are still not. They're not, though.
If you don't deal with those things before you get to, say you guys are listening and you're younger, you're in your 30s. We have a lot of listeners in our 30s, 40s. If you're not openly communicating then already about what you like and things like that, when you get into these ages, when you're dealing with menopause and empty nest syndrome and all those things, when your kids are growing up, it's going to be a problem. And this is why a lot of couples they hit this friction area. And listen, this is where it happens, where then
they're the crossroad, man. Who's going to go in which direction, right?
Yeah. And then one strays sometimes because they're not communicating. And so they're not communicating because they're already weird and they're just maybe uncomfortable about the bedroom. A lot of times it's cultural.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're right. You're right. Never thought about that.
So they don't have those communication. They don't have those open communication yet. And so then they run into problems and then they really don't. So if when I was in my 30s, I was afraid to tell you what I like or what I enjoy, I'm sure as hell not going to tell you when my vagina's dry when I'm in my 40s. Hey, babe, I have a problem.
Yeah.
Because I'm uncomfortable.
Yes, of course.
I think it just all...
And for men, that's hard to talk about too when their libido's not working. They don't feel like a man.
Yeah.
100%.
So it's tough. And you have to make sure you have an open line of communication because you're going to encounter these things, okay? Things they don't stay perfect. And then you can talk through it and do something about it.
Yes, you can. We did something about it.
We did something about it.
We did.
We didn't just, it is what it is. No, we have one life to live. Yeah, we're going to fix this. And we're going to...
Shout out Kate.
Transcend HRT.
Yes. Hey, shout them out. Like I said, listening to Joe Rogan and other people saying, even Huberman, like, why not be optimized? Why not? It's so stupid. Some people have ego and pride and don't want help. Like, especially men. I don't know. I think women are more open too, but men have this pride about TRT or getting help or not admitting that their libido ain't working right. These guys think these guys are such liars. Men lie like they make themselves seem like they're porn stars and their shit's working. But no, it's not, homie. Stop bullshitting. Your shit's not working like it is in your 20s. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I've been working out since I was a teenager, working out. You know what I'm saying? Things change and things happen.
Yeah. A lot of men, they'll rely also on Cialis and Viagra and all of that.
But I don't want to be popping those pills
Yeah.
like candy. What if I have a heart attack or a stroke? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
guys abuse that. They become addicted to that. They become reliant. I don't want to be relying on that stuff.
Yeah. But what does it do? It just gives you,
Wakes the boy up down there.
wakes it up.
Yeah. Wakes the boy up down there for sure. But a person like myself who's an addict, I got to be careful with that stuff.
Yeah. Would you become addicted to erections?
That or you want to do them psychological all the time and have sex all the time. Then I'm pushing you and you're like, hold on, babe, I'm tired today, or I got work, I got things, and then friction happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then they start straying.
Yeah,
Then they
because
start straying the younger women. That
if
does
you
happen.
are,
You see where it can go with that?
yeah, because if this is the problem, this is why I wanted to talk about like sexual compatibility, because if your drive isn't on equal playing field, that could be a problem.
I know.
I feel like that because you get mad, like you're not satisfying me, and so you gotta get annoyed.
Guys take it very personal. Like, man, the way they talk, trust me, I hear the way they talk. They're like, man, this bitch, I'm gonna go somewhere else. Then she ain't want to handle her business. Somebody else will.
Wow.
That's why a lot of women, you'll hear them online and say, you better handle your man. You better make sure he doesn't leave the house hungry. There's a reason they say that.
Hungry or horny.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Yeah, that's what they say. Especially if he's going on a weekend trip with the boys. Better be careful, ladies. I'm not saying your man's doing anything, but just be aware.
You know what a lot of it is too, though?
But women do it too, though. It ain't just men. Women are cheaters themselves too, man. They stray as well. It ain't just us.
Yeah, I just wonder if they stray for different reasons. Not because of that, but because of their lacking the emotional connection. I don't know, but I think it goes both ways.
I think you're right. I think men love the hunt. We have this thing that we tell ourselves we're hunters and we must take women down. That's our job. It's our DNA. It's part of who we are. It's part of, we have to see what's out there and go after it. That's just who we are. We can't change who we are. And that's how men have it ingrained in their brain like that.
How do you nurture your sexual relationship when you get older? How do you keep it good? How do you keep it good? What do you think?
How do you keep it
How do you keep it healthy? We're older now, obviously.
Open communication. Talk about it.
Yeah.
Be open. I told you my libido was low and I did something about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was understanding to it.
Yeah.
But it's because we discussed it. If you just randomly had...
Because time will pass before you know it. A month passed, 2, 3, 4, a year, 2 years down the line. And next thing your wife is, your mate's straying with somebody else.
You know what? Person. Another thing is don't play games when it comes to your sexual relationship. I hate games.
Yeah, no.
Don't play games. Communicate how you're feeling. Don't play games. Oh, like initiation games. Oh, I'm not going to initiate because I always initiate, or I'm going to see how long it takes before she initiates. Why play the games? Can't we just be adults and be open?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Ego. It's an ego thing.
Do you ever played games with me like that?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. Maybe I'm just asking if there's games that I haven't been aware of.
No. Grown ass man, what the hell been playing these kid games? What do I look at them in high school? It's funny though. You know what's funny though is women have played, when I was single, and I'll go back before I met you, women have played those games where they hold out. I'm like, okay, cool. Go ahead, hold out. I'm not going to chase you, pursue you. And all of a sudden, we have this talk down the line. It's happened a few times where, hey, I noticed you're not trying to...
Okay, can you speak English? Because hold out and...
Okay, hold out. Like, why aren't you trying to pursue me sexually?
Okay.
Yeah. And then I go, because I feel like you're playing games, and I'm not into that. I'm not a high school. We're not in high school. We're adults.
Yeah.
So what are we doing?
Yeah.
I don't play these games.
Yeah.
You want to play these games? Go date another dude.
Like you're not trying or da, da,
Yeah.
da. Oh, God. See, I hate games.
That's what I'm saying. What were we in high school?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I hate games.
Stupid.
I think in your marriage especially, don't play games.
No.
Don't play games. Don't play the games because you might not like the outcome of the game.
Yep.
Okay?
Exactly.
Because if you play games like, oh, I'm going to see how long it takes before she blah, blah, blah. Life gets crazy, gets busy. It takes one to initiate it, but then it takes 2 to tango. So as long as you're doing the dance, who cares who initiated it?
That's true. And I'm not a woman, so I can't speak on how women feel after they have babies as well. Totally different, because when you become a mother, that a lot of your time goes into that child, right?
Yeah, and I think that it's important.
You're a young mom.
You have to, obviously you have to make time for it, but sometimes it does have to be scheduled.
Yes. Make it
There's
a date
nothing
night.
wrong with being to scheduling it. And I think some people are like, oh, but I want it spontaneous or whatever. But you know what? That's just not always realistic. Sometimes you got to be like, okay, yes, it's going to be this time or whatever.
I heard that doctor that you listened to, he's on the Housewife show, married to a chick, said they schedule date nights.
Yeah.
DeBro, what's his name?
Oh, yeah. Dr. Dubrow.
That his name?
Yeah. They schedule date nights.
Yeah, because they're both busy.
Yeah, they're busy.
You know, she's filming. He's got his practice. And
yeah. How do you make things happen? It's like with your healthy lifestyle, right? And having a good sex life is part of a healthy lifestyle. It keeps your relationship healthy. And so you have to make it a non-negotiable.
True.
It's one of your non-negotiables.
True. That's a
like
good
we
way
just
of
got to
looking at it.
make it happen because you get caught up. I know we're busy, and like you said, 1 week turns into 2. And
when you're younger, you're just going for it. You just have energy for days. But when you get older, it's a little more difficult. You start getting into the years that we're in.
yeah.
You know, we're knocking at the door at 50. I am at least, and you're right behind me. It's not the same as when you're 10 years younger, 20 years younger.
Just like with
Hormones
anything
change.
else, it's nice to be compatible, though. If you're completely on different playing fields with your partner and you have to, one person's always compromising, God, that just wears away over time.
Of course.
And when in the libido compatibility department, like I have had friends that their husbands wanted sex every day.
Really? Every day?
Every single day. Every day.
Damn.
Larsa Pippen, and I know we talked about this before, she said that she had sex with Scottie Pippen like 4 times a night. Now her and Marcus Jordan came out on their podcast and they said they have sex 5 times a night. That it cannot be true.
No.
It cannot be true.
No, what is she, a porn star all of a
First of
sudden?
all,
Come
she's
on.
my age.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to dry up. I'm sorry. 5 times a
That's
night, lady?
friction.
What is she? Yeah. What are you taking? What is she
That's
taking? I want to know.
impossible.
What is he taking? 5 times?
5 times.
Even in my 20s and teenager, 5 times? And what? No. Come on, man.
But listen.
Why? Why are you talking? They're just talking to get attention, to get likes or clickbait.
There's no way. Why? There's no way. You guys.
Every night?
Please weigh in on this. Do you think that's possible? Do you think that 5 times a night, every night is possible?
They have that kind of time on their hands 5 times a night? You gotta
5
stop.
times.
Start over. Start over. For men, we can't. Women can
Yes.
back to back
yes,
to back to back
correct.
to back. You guys can't. We cannot.
No, you cannot reload.
So that's what I'm saying. No, we can't reload like that. We got maybe 2 in us. I'm telling you right now.
No, and the second
maybe.
one takes way too long.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What does this dude like? Taking some kind of? He's got a built-in supercharger or something. Some boost juice. Come on, man.
I don't know. We should have
She's
done
just-
a not safe for work
She's just
warning on
she's
this
just
episode.
capping that lady, man.
Yeah, like that bothers me because
Scottie Pippen was an NBA player 4 times a night. Really?
No.
Come on. He's training hella hours of the day, playing for a major basketball team alongside Michael Jordan. Stop the
it
cap.
bothers me when people do that because then you're setting like you're making people feel like less than. Now, I could see other husbands going, Larsa Pippen does it this many times a night. You
No.
can't." But even to me, every day is a lot.
That is a lot.
That's a lot.
You're exhausted. I'm exhausted. We both work out. You work long hours. Come on.
It also, does it get old if you do every
That's what I would
single
think
day?
too, yeah.
Does it just like, all right, the same, da, 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 da.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does
Yeah.
it?
Probably.
That's a lot. I don't know. But you know what? The most important thing is that we both think that's a lot. But the problem is,
Yeah.
the problem lies when there is a distinct issue with, you have to come to a compromise. And again, communication. You have to, if someone wants it every day and someone wants it once a week, then you have to compromise.
Yeah. Yeah. There is anomalies out there that are like, what do they call them? Nymphomaniacs, where they have to have sex all the time.
That's like a sex addiction, though.
Yes.
That's you're addicted to. That's a problem. That's just, you can't, it's just like in any addiction. You can't just feed the addiction. It just gets worse.
Yes. I agree with you. Then if that person they can't handle their business with that person, then go straight elsewhere.
Well, and that's
Always.
where infidelity and stuff like that
Yeah.
comes into play.
Yep.
But you have to, I think it's okay to schedule it. You have to communicate. And if there becomes a problem, like your libido or some sort of problem, you need to address it and don't just say, oh, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Address it and get past it because that's what's gonna keep you connected. How do people have sex until they're like old? Do old people have sex?
I don't know. I used to wonder.
Like
I used to wonder. No, like I thought, like at a certain age, you retire, you hang them up. But these older people these days are because of Viagra for men. I hear like a lot of men in those, what do you call those old folk homes?
Yeah,
it's like a lot of disease runs rampant. Those guys be Men and women.
So they do.
I guess so. Remember what show was I watching? What was I watching with you where somebody got in trouble with their father was in there and sleeping with all kinds of women in those old folks' homes? I don't know about what.
Gross.
Can't remember.
But you know what's weird? Have you ever thought about there's going to be a time in life that it's going to be the last time you have sex and you don't even know it?
Yeah.
Have you ever stopped to think about that?
No.
This might be the last time.
Yeah.
You better make it good.
Damn. I looked at the bottom of that Cosmopolitan says female Viagra is basically here. So why hasn't your doctor mentioned it?
Yeah, because they don't.
I know, right?
It's like they don't care about like a quality of life.
Yes. There you go. Quality of life.
I just don't think that
people have needs, man.
They're not inquiring. They're not proactive about
ask.
our quality of life and our relationships. So like I was saying before, when you go to your doctor and you're having like, hey, you know what? My libido has been low. I remember my doctor specifically said, is there anything else going on? I'm like, she goes, I said, my libido's not the best. And she said, oh, okay, yeah. She brushed right over that.
Okay, yeah.
She didn't think, okay, have you discussed that with your husband and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Now,
is there anything I could do to help? Is there anything? No.
We have the benefit of the fact that we literally we're going through the same thing at the same time.
I know.
And then we jumped on HRT at the same time. We did something about it.
Yep.
But so say I enter menopause and my libido's low, I'm dried up or whatever they say.
Yeah.
But I have a husband who is wanting sex every day.
Firing on all cylinders.
Therein is enter divorce court.
Facts.
Or infidelity.
Infidelity. One or the other. You're right about that.
And that's sad because I feel like that happens a lot. And you know what?
What's the percentage you think of that happening? That's something to look up.
What do you mean? What's the percentage of what?
Infidelity. They probably wouldn't know. Or divorces happen behind that. Or did you mention it earlier? I think you mentioned it.
Yeah. It says that, and then 97% of women said that their lawyer or doctor never mentioned menopause as a contributing factor to their divorce.
That's true. Have you ever heard it? It's an irreconcilable differences.
Yeah, so nobody's saying, hey, you know what? Maybe if you did something, addressed your menopause or your hormonal issues, your relationship would recover or improve. It's not even mentioned.
Wow.
Even marriage counselors, they don't say, oh, you know what? Maybe it's menopause. It just doesn't come up.
They better sharpen their game because it should come up. It's a very important topic. It's very important. It's part of life. It's going to happen. Every woman's going to go through it. Because
I honestly feel like my mom, I don't think she had any knowledge on like how it was impacting her. I honestly feel like if I didn't do this line of work, that I would have you just think that's the way you are now. That's the way you feel now. You don't think that there's solutions and that are going to make you feel better.
You just feel like, oh, this is just what it is. This is what getting older is, and that's that.
Because you don't really feel like anything specific. It's only hindsight. Now that I'm out of it, I really go, wow.
Yeah.
Like, I feel way better.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's why I talk about it so much, because there's people out there that are living like that, and they don't realize that they can be improving the quality of their life.
Yep. That's true. Optimization. That's what Joe Rogan says. He's 56? And he goes, I'm going to optimize myself. I don't care what other people think or judge how I look or care if I take TRT or this or that or peptides. It's my life. It's my body. And he's right.
Yeah.
Who cares what it may? A lot of guys always have something to say online. Oh, he's on TRT. So what? It's not your body. What do you care? You're just a hater. You're just mad because you have a lazy ass mindset. It doesn't like TRT is just going to fix you and all of a sudden you're going to be human. You got to put in the work still.
Yeah. You
got to get up early. You got to train. You got to move. You got to get your steps. You got to eat your macros. You got to be on point still.
Yeah.
It's not a miracle drug.
You really do have to master yourself. Let me tell you this.
Master yourself.
You are not going to... You're going to give your relationship and your marriage and your sex life the absolute best shot if you focus on yourself and master yourself first.
That's true.
That is what's going to give you the absolute best shot, because you're going to be operating at a higher frequency.
Yes.
You're going to be firing on all cylinders. You're going to do the things that you need to do to feel your best, and then you're going to be able to give your best self to your partner.
Yes.
And you can't circumvent that.
Nope.
You can't be a shell of yourself and expect to have a healthy, happy marriage and sex life.
Very true.
So you have to start with yourself first and then come together. And it's best if you do it together.
Yeah, you're right. Because also, what do we say? What if there's a couple, two very large people, man and a woman, but the man flips the switch or the woman flips the switch and loses the weight, gets in shape, and the other person doesn't, stays like that. And now all of a sudden, this person who flipped the switch, their hormones are hitting. They got a peptide stuff. Their frequency is high. Their energy is better. Everything's going to happen.
The higher your frequency is, the more noticeable it is when people are on low frequency.
Yep.
And so, yes, if there becomes like a discrepancy there, that's why transformations, like big transformations, often lead to problems in a marriage if they're not both on the same page and both on that journey.
Yeah.
And one is completely in the other direction. Yeah, that could absolutely lead to problems in your marriage.
I see it at 90% of men that do that, they end up leaving their chicks. They level up, get good, they get fit and go from being obese or relatively large, and all of a sudden they lost all that weight and you get all this attention, and all of a sudden they're a new person. They're like, yeah, I'm cool off my...
But it's also just because like you're doing so much and then you notice all of the things that your partner isn't doing, and it's a turnoff.
Yes.
Let's be real. That's
true.
The reality.
No, you're
it
right.
It becomes a turnoff.
You're right.
You just think, you lazy...
Yes, that's
lazy
true though.
piece
And
of shit.
and yet you're right. You're right. You got a very good point there.
And
you're
so
so
then
right.
you just, and then it chips away at that love, and it becomes, you just get turned off and resentful, and you're like, I'm doing all this and you don't do, you come to bed with your sweaty balls and you want to have sex.
Yeah. Nah, you're right. You got a very good point. This is the stuff people don't want to talk about though, the uncomfortable conversation, but it has to be said. It is the truth.
Master yourself. We have one life to live.
One life, you guys.
Okay. Master yourself.
Yes.
Communicate with your partner.
Yes.
Ideally, go on a healthy lifestyle journey together and just live out the rest of your life. Make it the best of your life.
That's it. Best of your life.
Right?
Why not?
Do it together. Why not?
Yep.
All right, you guys.
Have better success that way.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you on the next one.